up, man? Let me go ahead and I'm looking at some other stuff, so I'm about to. If you give me just 1 second, I'll be ready to roll. So I'm setting something up somewhere else, so just bear with me. Let's go ahead and get rid of that music so we can talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. If you have not been seeing the channel, if you have not been like seeing the content that I, by the way, shout out to whoever complimented the Middleman CEO shirt. So making money without doing any of the work, that's what it's all about. If you want to get your own shirt printed, we'll get that out for you. Just put t-shirt in the comments or mention it to me on one of the platforms. You could DM me. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And so sometimes I get so much going on. Like it's 12:17 here in Texas, and so I haven't been able to put a lot of time into what I've been trying to do today. So bear with me because I've been working so much. I'm telling you, like I got two tablets right here where I'm just getting all this work done. So what I like to do is I like to come into because I work from home, so I like to come into my home office here, and I got my board here. I got my desk. I got everything here. So I like to come into here, get focus, because I always have things going on. I got kids, got family. So how many know you have to? Sometimes you just have to get refocused in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up if you're watching me on one of the other platforms. You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all Middleman CEO. I'm on Twitter. I believe I'm on TikTok. I'm on LinkedIn. So just find me. I'm always talking about how to change your life by becoming a middleman, creating a business where you can get your life back and not always have to sell your time for money on these things we call jobs. So there's nothing wrong with having a job. I always say that. The only thing is like if your job is your only source of income. And again, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get what's up to everybody who's on. Trying to get this on my Facebook opened, and I think we're good on Facebook now. If you have a question or comment, drop it because I'm not gonna be on long because I do understand like this time of day. I do understand like this time of the day is like most people's lunch break. And so I try to time it to where I can get your attention, get your ears, and get you all to come on here and listen to what I'm talking about, what I'm describing. Listen to what I'm trying, the message I'm trying to convey to you to get you to understand that you don't always have to be tied to a paycheck. You don't always have to be in the struggle lane. It's too many people in the struggle lane, right? And so we don't always want to be in the struggle lane. We don't always want to be living our less life and not living our blessed life. Come on now. We don't always want to be in a position where we have to check prices and make tough decisions and so we don't want to be in those positions. I remember Cat Williams and this ain't the messy stuff cuz I don't buy that stuff, meaning that uh I can't spend 2 hours buying stuff like that because your time is money, your attention is money. So it's just like money. Whatever you give it to, that's what comes back in. That's what you're investing in. So me, I can't give 2 hours to something like that. So, but anyway, I heard him like I don't know, it's probably been years ago, and Cat Williams was like, "Man, times are so hard out here," and he was like, "You're at the gas pump now, making life decisions." And he was like, you're about to pump gas, and you like, wait a minute, man, did I even eat today? Like, and so we're kind of at that place again. And for a lot of you, you've never left that place. Every day is a struggle. Every day is trying to figure out, should I put gas in my car or should I buy food for the house? Right? If hot pockets and Lunchables are a big part of your day and sandwiches from home, then you might be in the struggle zone. But fear not, I've been sent to rescue you. I've been sent to get you out of this hole you've been digging and digging and digging, and nobody can seem to get you out of it. And I just want to start with the first thing and tell you, hey, the first thing we got to do is change up here. Do you know that this is like the hardest thing to do? Because when I have my own principles that I live by, right? When it comes to investing, starting a business, making money, I have my buying a house, buying a car. I just have my own way of doing things. I've done it the poor way. It hurts. It's just pain and suffering, and you end up not living your blessed life, but your stress life, right? Your less life, your depressed life. And I'm here to tell you that ain't no fun, honey. You don't always want to be in a position where life is constantly beating you down. You start feeling like life is Mike Tyson because every time you look up, life is punching you in the face and it hurts. So there are some things in life, in case you don't know, there are some things in life that we do not control, right? We don't control the weather. We don't control when friends and family pass. There are some things that's out of our control. We might even be doing a great job at our company, and then the bosses, the owners sell the company and we lose our jobs. So there are some things that are out of our control when it comes to life. And so one thing I learned about that is don't dwell on those things. Don't dwell on things you can't control. It's just going to beat you up and eat you up. Instead, I want you to focus on things that you can control, things that matter that you are in position to do something about. And so one of the things that you're in position to do something about is your finances. Now, whatever the company pays you, that's just what they agreed to pay you and you agreed to receive and pay. That doesn't mean that's all you're worth. It just means that you agreed that that's a fair amount of compensation for you. Now, whatever your salary is paying you, whatever your job is paying you, they're simply telling you on a paycheck that this is what you are worth to us. So when you go to the low end jobs that don't require a lot of skill, like for instance, a McDonald's job, you're not going to find 20, 25, 30, $45 an hour work there because their systems do all the work. They can fire somebody and train somebody in an hour to do the same job. So it doesn't require a lot of skill because people are always like upset at what they make. And my thing is, hey, you agreed to that salary, number one. And I'm not saying it's fair or not, but I'm saying you agreed to it. So honor it. And number two, how about you skill up? Nobody's stopping you. Okay, there's a ceiling on your salary for being in a position, right? But nobody's stopping you from being in the B position. It just requires a different skill level. The problem is you're too lazy to get out there and do it. You're too lazy. It's easier to complain, to whine, to sob, to hashtag struggle life, to go through all this trauma bonding on social media. It's so much easier to do that and complain about your life than it is to actually take some steps to change your life. Did I say that too fast? It's easier for most people to complain about life than it is for them to excuse me guys, I'm trying to fix this thing. It's easier for most people to complain about life uh, than it is for them. I'm trying to get as bright as I can. I guess I go right there. Than it is for them to actually do something about life. So I got two systems up today. So y'all better bear with me. If you have a question or comment, please drop it because I promise I'm not going to be on long. So it doesn't take long to get this information to you. It doesn't take long to change your life. It doesn't take long for the light bulb to go off in your mind that says, wait a minute, I'm not living the life I'm supposed to live. I'm supposed to be doing so much better than this. I had that same feeling years ago where I was like, wait a minute, this can't be life. Gotta be better than this. What have I accomplished? What have I done? Come on, I gotta get better. I gotta do something else. And that was the mindset that like literally changed my life and got me to doing some things that you probably don't do. And I didn't do them at first either, but I'm telling you it helps. I started reading books. I started listening to people that knew more than I did online. I started doing research. I started asking questions. I started trying to, you ready? Figure it out. And so I got some good news for you. You don't even have to work hard to figure it out today. I'm going to show you how very, very quickly. I'm going to show you, let me see. If I got any clean paper, because I'm telling you, I write a lot. If you can see, I got two notebooks side by side that's full of content. And all right, so let's see if this works. So I'm going to take one of my markers that I use for my training. By the way, if you're not on the training tonight, please get into the training tonight. It's a free Zoom. It's going to be about 45 minutes. And I'm going to teach you how to start your own middleman business using only your smartphone. You saw the title. All you need is a phone. Do you have a phone? Yes, you qualify. Right? Do you have a phone? Yes. Are you willing to put in that work? If the answer is yes, you qualify. Right? Are you willing to wait about 90 days for your business to grow? You're willing to give it some time? Yes. A lot of you want these microwavable businesses, these microwave bodies, these microwave abs, these microwave boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, and wives. You want all this stuff microwave because you found out popcorn could pop in 2.5 minutes, and now you want your now popcorn pop in a minute. Now you want your microwavable relationships. Girl, I like him. Put it in the microwave so I can have that. And that's how we are. Unfortunately, society has made us that way through all the social media. So I'm not telling you social media is bad. I'm just telling you be careful when you finding your way through it. I use social media. I don't let it use me. I don't do a lot of scrolling because I don't need that content. I'm just on here to jump on here, spend a few minutes and say, hey, let me try to help you to change your life. You got 5 minutes, listen to this. And that's all I'm trying to do. In fact, tonight, if you got 30 minutes, jump on the training call. I'm going to teach you in just a few minutes. It's not even going to take 30 minutes, but I'll probably do some Q&A. Jump on the Zoom. I'm going to put the Zoom link in the comments. So if you're watching this, don't worry about it. When this video finishes, the Zoom link is going to be in the comments. I want you to be there. I might even stream it live on Facebook. I'm not sure. I'll try. But I want you guys to be there because I want you to live the best life you can possibly live. You know why I put such a sense of urgency behind living the best life that I can live? Because I know I ain't gonna live forever. I know I'm gonna be dead longer than I'm alive. I know I'm dying. Don't look at me that way, you're dying too. So let's stop living like we're gonna live for 200 years. You're not. I won't. So let's take advantage of all the time we got. You woke up this morning, you got a new day. What you gonna do with it? What are you working on? Let's go. The faster you learn, the faster you earn. I put that in the comments earlier. I mean that. So let me show you something real quick and then I'll get out of your way, right? So what I'm going to teach you tonight, I'm going to teach you how to build a middleman business. Now, what is a middleman business? So I want to show you guys real quick, right? And I don't know if it's backwards on the Facebook platform. I hope it's not, but I'll just use alphabets, right? So you can see. So a middleman business is a business that has a customer who needs a business or service, CB. So think about a company like Uber. Uber finds a customer who is someone who needs a ride, and then they find a driver who's someone who wants to drive the customer, right? So they find a rider and a driver, and then using the Uber platform, they connect the two. So they book the job. As soon as Uber books the job as the middleman, because Uber's right here, they're the middleman, Uber gets paid. How does Uber make money? Every time a customer matches with a business or a rider matches with a driver, in this case, money gets made and then Uber takes their cut. Uber gets paid right here in the gap. The gap between the customer and the business is the middleman who hooks the two up. So imagine you had a friend who wanted to meet another friend, and then you introduced the two. And then these two went on to get married, right? Have a beautiful life. Well, you're the middleman or middlewoman. You hook this up, so you get paid too. How do you get paid? You'll probably be a godparent, all right? Best man or maid of honor, right? Something like that. But you get rewarded because you connected to. So a middleman company is simply a company structure, a company model. This is the model. This is Uber's model, Simple ABC, or in this case, CMB, right? So Uber uses this model. Instacart uses this model. You need your groceries delivered? I have somebody who will do it. Come to my platform. I'll charge you a little money and introduce you to. Right? Who else? Airbnb. You have a home you like to rent? I have somebody who would like to rent it for the night. Come to my platform, Airbnb. I'll introduce you and then I'll take a cut. It's just a commission, right? These are commission platforms. They're marketing platforms, but all they do is take a commission. That's all they do, right? What's another one that you might be familiar with? Lyft, right? Lyft simply says, hey, you need a ride? This person needs a ride. This person has a car. How about we introduce you on our platform, and then whenever payment is made, we'll take a cut. So again, it's just commission. That's all it is. I'll put it close to the screen so you can see it. You guys can see it. CMB, customer, middleman, business. So all of these companies use it. Now, what are these companies worth? Billions and billions of dollars. I'm not even exaggerating. These companies, you know it, I know it. These companies are worth billions of dollars. And they don't own any of the work. They don't do any of the work. They don't own the customer. They don't own the car. They don't. Airbnb doesn't own the house. They doesn't own. They don't own the person who rents it. Right? Instacart doesn't own the food or the groceries, and they don't own the person delivering it. You guys are out here driving in these gig jobs. Nothing wrong with it. Beating your car up. I got a friend. He's out driving. He's making money, but he's wearing his car down. He's just gonna have to buy another car soon, right? And so instead of doing all that, what if I showed you a simple, easy way? It's not even a trick, not even a secret. You know why? Because these companies already given us the blueprint. These companies, the same thing I'm about to tell you, these companies already do. So if you're sitting there going, I don't know if this will work. Do you know Uber? It works. Do you know Airbnb? It works. Because these companies wouldn't be in business if it didn't what? If it didn't work. So tonight I'm going to do a live training. I'm going to try to get on about 6 o'clock Texas time. If not, it'll probably be anywhere between 6 and 6:30 I'm going to get on, because I do have a lot today, but I promised that I would do this free training. So if I'm not on at exactly 6 or whatever, just give me a few minutes. I'm going to be there, right? And you guys can be waiting. I hope to see you there. Hopefully I'm on no later than 6:15, but I promise I'm going to be there. We're going to spend about 30-40 minutes max. It's not even going to take long, and I'm going to change your life. I'm going to change your life just by sharing with you. Guys, listen, Uber is worth billions of dollars. Now, we don't have to think about making billions of dollars. Some of us, we can't even manage 10,000 a month. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to understand that what I'm showing you, the blueprint, CMB, customer, middleman, business, I'm doing this on a sheet of paper. This works. How do I know it works? Because I might say, hey, listen, if you can find a customer and match them to a business, you can get paid. And then you might go, that sounds cute, but how do I know that's going to work? And then I'll say, hey, do you know Uber? Yeah, I know Uber. They do that. Do you know Instacart? Yeah, I know Instacart. They do that. Do you know Airbnb? Yeah, I use it all the time. They do that. They already middleman. So I don't have to do homework. I don't have to do research. They're already doing it. How did I get this blueprint? From them. I'm not a genius. I got this blueprint from them, right? And I applied it in 2020. That's the first time I ever used this. I looked up and I was like, wait a minute. You telling me these companies making all this money, worth all this cash, and they're not doing any work? Uber don't own any cars? Not one. Nope. Wow. What are we doing working hard? Work smarter, right? Work smarter. So again, customer, middleman, business. All Uber does. Prove it to you. If you don't believe me, just watch. Uber. We're going to use Uber as an example. And I promise y'all, I'm not going to be long because I got to get going. We're going to use Uber as an example. I just want to show you that I know what I'm talking about. The first year I did this, I made $77,000. Now, that ain't six figures. That ain't going to blow you away unless you make less. But that was my first year doing it, number one. And number two, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was still learning. And number three, I didn't leave the house. Can I say that again? I did not leave the house. You can literally do this from your sofa. in your pajamas watching Netflix, whatever you want to do. All you have to do is have a phone where you can call, accept calls from a customer if they want to call, or the customer can text you, that's fine, or they can email you. Either way, I book jobs through email, text, calls. Does not matter to me. I like money. As long as I don't have to leave my house and you telling me I can make 5, 10,000 a month. Because in my first year, I was right at, let me see, 77. So I was averaging about 6,000 a month, a little more than 6,000 a month. And this is the truth. I didn't even know what I was doing. This is the God honest truth. There were days when I would come in and not really come in, but days when I would wrap up because I would open from like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then there were days, and I was just learning this, but I was like, hey, I need to get some hours so I can make some money. Let's see what happens. And there were days where I'd get probably 4 calls, right? And if these calls were, if I got to book big jobs, because I was, so if I was booking certain jobs, I was taking 250, 350, $500 deposits. Now, why is that important? Well, I'm about to show you that. There were some days where I was making 1,200, 1,500 in a day. So some days were better than others, is what I'm saying. But there are some days now. If I could have gotten consistent with it in the first year, I could have made 100 grand. But I was making mistakes. Didn't have a website. Didn't really know how to reach the customers, how to get traffic. I didn't really know how to advertise. And when the customers called me, I had no idea what to say. Sometimes I was on the phone for 20 minutes just listening to the customer talk. But you don't have to worry about that because I'm going to teach you how to do it in my course. You get your own script, so you don't have to worry about it. I told you I made a lot of mistakes. So if I made 77 in my first year, imagine what you can do. So here we go. So Uber finds a customer, right? So Uber finds a customer and then connects them to the business, right? Am I right? You guys follow me? Thanks for the thumbs up. Hit the like, hit subscribe, jump on my YouTube channel. I'm going to drop the links to the Zoom on because you guys are watching on Facebook and on my YouTube. I'm going to drop the link, not right now because I want to teach you, but I'm going to drop the link after the video. So you can get the Zoom link. The Zoom's going to be tonight. Please jump in it. And if I'm a little late, be patient, but I promise I'm going to be there. All right. So Uber simply does this. They do the CMB model. So what do? They find a customer, right, who needs a ride. They find a customer who needs a ride. You guys follow me? And then they find a driver who gives rides. So they find a customer who needs a ride. They find a driver who has the car to give them a ride. So they find a rider and a driver. How do they meet? Because they would never know about each other unless they went to Uber's platform. I'll just put an M because Uber's the middleman. They have a platform called Uber. So these two go meet. The rider jumps in the car with the driver drops the rider off. Money is made. A transaction is paid. Uber collects money out of that transaction. You guys are familiar with it. You know I know what I'm talking about. And you know this is correct. So that is the blueprint on how to start a middleman business, right? And so alls that I'm going to teach you is simply this. That black kind of went through the page. I probably should have had one of my boards. I have one now that I'm thinking about it. I have one downstairs, but for the sake of time, we're just going to roll with what we got. If you have a question or comment, drop it because I'm about to get off in a couple minutes. So remember, I'll see you guys in the Zoom tonight. You'll get all this information. I'm going to break it down for you. But for now, I'm just giving you the basic stuff. So Uber's going to connect them, right? And so I hope this stands out because I'm writing on the back of the page. Let's see. So what I'm going to teach you to do, let's see. You guys can see that? You can see it, but I'll tell you what. Let's do a new page. So I'm going to teach you 3 things. And if you do these 3 things correctly, you will make money. I have students now who's taking the masterclass or who are enrolled in the masterclass now, and they're making money. So I do have a masterclass. The masterclass is about 6 hours long, and it's getting longer because I keep adding beautiful stuff to it. And that's okay. You get access to it. Once you buy it, you get access. And so once these guys and girls go through this master class, immediately they go into business, because you can go out, you can learn what I teach you, and then you could go out and do these three things today. You don't even have to wait till tomorrow. You could do them today, right? So what are these three things? Book, deposit, dispatch. Say it with me. Book, deposit, dispatch. My son, who's 3 years old, knows this. I'll say, Wes, what do we do? Book, deposit, dispatch. My daughter's 9 months old. She probably know this. She know a lot of stuff. She probably a little genius the way she be looking at me funny. Probably reading my mind and stuff. You know, these kids are gifted. But I could go to her and say, Renly, what is it? What does this say? And she say, blah, 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 blah. Something like that, right? Baby talk. But I know she knows what she's talking about. So book, deposit, dispatch. All I want to do is teach you how to book a job, take a deposit, and then dispatch the job to someone else, right? That's all you're going to do. ABC, right? You're going to book, deposit, dispatch. You're going to find a customer, get a reservation, book that customer. Then that customer is going to pay you a deposit in the form of money, right? This is where you get paid. They're going to give you a deposit. They're going to pay me, Sean? Yes, they're going to pay you. Where do you think I get the 77,000 for in 2020? I didn't pay myself. They paid me. So you're going to take the 77,000. Well, you'll make more than that, because you'll know the things I didn't know. There was nobody to train me and teach me, but I got you. So take the deposit, you get paid, and then dispatch, somebody else do the work. So imagine that. All you do is book the job, just get the customer, you take a deposit, you get paid, and then you dispatch it to somebody else who does all the work. So imagine you can create your own business using only your smartphone and don't have to leave the house. Here's how I look. And you gotta be on the live training tonight, because I'm gonna walk you out through this. But it's very, very simple. Customer's gonna reach out to you. They can text you, email, or call you. Does not matter, right? And then you're gonna get the customer's information, and then that's booking. You're gonna capture the customer information. Hey, let me get your name, let me get your blah, blah, blah. And again, it can be on a phone call, or it can be on an email. It can be on a text. They can say, hey, I need to get a quote for blah, 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 because the customer's going to reach out for you to get a quote. And then you're going to say, hey, I love to give you a quote. I'm paraphrasing. I love to give you a great quote, but I need to get some information from you so I can give you a great quote. Customer going to be like, bet, what do you need? Yeah, I need your name, blah, 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 your number, contact, blah, blah, blah. How do we reach you? When do you need this done? Blah, blah, blah. And then you're gonna go ahead and book that customer's information. And then as soon as you do, you're gonna tell the customer, hey, we got you set up, you're scheduled for blah, 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 whatever it is. And then you're gonna say, we also require a deposit, blah, blah, blah. How would you like to pay? The customer can say, hey, can I Cash App you? Can I Venmo you? Can I use my credit card? Whatever, right? And so you're gonna, because I try to teach you to at least get an average of a 150 per deposit. So the customer is going to say, yeah, absolutely, I'll take it. I'll go ahead and pay the deposit. And then you're going to take an average, try to get an average of 150, but it depends on what industry you're in. Uh, so I have a list of industries, like 20, 25 industries you can choose from. Me, I'm in the moving industry, and I'm in the home cleaning industry. And then we're going into the website industry. So what does that mean? That means I'm middleman for movers. So when movers need customers, I get customers, take my deposit, and then send the work and the information to them. They go out, do all the work. Happy customers, happy movers, because they make money. Customers happy because they got service. I'm happy because I never left the house. I book jobs where, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. When I my first year doing this funny, but it's the God honest truth. There were days when calls would come in, and I knew they were calling to book a job and give me money. I knew I was gonna make $150 off this call just in 5, 10 minutes. But there were some days I didn't feel good. I was sick. Even in 2020, I remember having COVID. I remember having flu. I remember being sick, and I was laying in the bed. And what I would do, this is a true story. This is how I know that if you build the right business, money will chase you down. It'll literally, because a lot of you guys are sitting there going, I need to make money. I'm telling you, if you do this right, money's going to chase you down. So I was laying in the bed, and the phone was ringing. And so I got it on silent because I don't want to be disturbed. Well, I got it on vibrate, and I hear the phone vibrating, and it wakes me up. because I'm not trying to do anything that day. I'm not feeling good. I'm not trying to get out of this bed. I'm trying to lay in this bed, not get out. I'm not hungry. I don't want anything to drink. I just don't feel good. I don't want to talk to anybody. You know how it is when you get sick, right? You just want to wrap up in all the blankets, and you're always cold because you got a fever, but you want to wrap up in all the blankets, and you just want to be left alone until you feel better. That's how I was. And I was probably like that for 2 days. And these customers, they were calling my phone. I mean, I was laying in the bed sick with COVID, with flu. And I was just, this is a God honest truth. I'm laying in bed. I intentionally, because I know I posted online that I'm open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. here in Dallas. And so as soon as 8 a.m., as soon as 8 a.m. hits, I know the phone's going to start ringing. So I don't want to talk to anybody because I don't even want the money. I just don't feel good. You know how it is when you don't feel good. And even if you can make money, you could go to work or you could do something to make money. You just want to feel better. You don't want to be in a situation where you just don't feel good. You're like, hey, keep the money. I don't feel good. I don't want to talk. I just want to be left alone. And that's how I was for 2 days. And so I'm laying in the bed and I'm hearing this phone go off and it wakes me up because I'm a very light sleeper. If the wind blows, I'm up. Like I wake up a lot. I probably wake up 3, 4, 5 times throughout the night. I'm a very light sleeper. Anything wakes me up. And so that's probably why I don't like barking dogs because they always wake me up. And so I'm sitting there, like laying there in bed, and I'm hearing this phone. And so I'll push it away from me because I know it's a customer. Nobody else is going to call me during the day. That my friends would text. And so I know it's a customer. I'm not even looking. I'm so tired. I'm just pushing it away. Like, I don't even want to pick up this phone. I don't want your money. I don't want to talk to you. I want to be left alone. And I was serious because I didn't feel good. You know how it is. When you don't feel good, you just don't want to be bothered. And I'm sitting there and customers are still calling throughout the day. And I'm not picking up this phone and I'm missing these calls. So whenever I get up to like use the restroom or get some water, because you got to get some fluids, and I'll check the voicemail and it's like, hey, I need a quote for such and such. I need a quote for this move. I need a quote for this cleaning. And I'm like, I'm not even calling them back. And they'll call somebody else because after a certain amount of time they'll find somebody else anyway, which was fine with me. I didn't care. I just wanted to be left alone. But my point was this: if you build a business like this, I promise you, money's going to chase you down. If I can teach you to make $150 deposits every time you book somebody, all you have to do is book 3 a day and you're at $450. Now, let me ask you this. What else can you do today from home, from your couch, while watching Netflix, using only your cell phone, can make $450 in a day? See, I book for moving industry, right? So I know the moving industry because I used to work in it. I had a moving company, so I kind of transitioned. And I'll share my story tonight, but I got to the point where I didn't want to do moving anymore. I was tired of that. And I was like, what else do I do? And customers will still hit me up asking for, quotes and help. And so I started just sending it. I started dispatching without even knowing it. I was like, hey, let me get your information. I got a homeboy. I didn't say that to the customer, but I was like, hey, let me get your information. And then I know in my mind, I got some friends here. I'll just send the work to them. They'll do it. And one of my friends, Courtney, we're still friends to this day. This dude went out, hit the job up, performed it, did a great job, texted me back and said, how much I owe you. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, what do I owe you for that lead, man? We went and made some money. I was like, I don't think you don't really owe me anything, bro. I was just trying to help you out. And he was like, well, I got to send you something because I think he made like 600 off of it. I was like, respect. Okay. I was like, all right, man, buy me lunch. We'll just go have some lunch, have a couple salads. So he sent me like $50. No joke, $50 cash app. And then I got the idea. I was like, wait a minute. Uber kind of does the same thing where they're middleman. I said, wait a minute, let me just middleman this. And so that's when I finally started doing it. I was going. And I told you I made 77,000 my first year. That first year, what I didn't tell you is the first year started in April for me. So April to December, I made 77 grand. I didn't even do January, February, and March doing this. It wasn't until April when I started on my own because I was just finding out about it. And so what did I do? I just simply did this. I booked a customer. I started taking deposits and I just dispatched it to somebody else. So imagine this. Imagine you have a friend who, let's see, I'm thinking of something that's common, who does lawn care. You have a friend who has a lawn service and they cut yards, right? And so they do a great job. They're top of the line. They got great reviews, but they need customers too. And so you say, wait a minute, let me go. Say your lawn service friend is John. You say, John, listen, give me a second, dude. I'm gonna bring you some customers. But here's what I need to know. How many customers can you use? John's like unlimited. The more you get me, the bigger and faster my company can grow. Bet. So you're gonna go back over here to the CMB, customer business middleman, and you're gonna find a customer for John. You're gonna middleman it, take a deposit, and send the customer to John. So it's going to look like this. This is why I love this business model. Uber knows it works. That's why they still do it. You ever heard of Uber out there trying to buy cars? No, they don't need to. That means they'll have to do work. They're not looking to do work. They're just looking to middleman. So your friend John has a lawn care service, right? And so John says, hey, the average yard we do is about 175 just for an average yard. And you say, okay, bet. And then you say, all right, so 175. I'm sorry. So John might say, hey, 125 is what we do for the average yard. So let's do the math. John's going to say the average yard is about 125. So John says the average yard is about 125. You're going to book the job for 175. Right? Follow me. So John will do the work for 125, but you need to make money, so you're going to up the price. Sometimes you can negotiate John down to 100 and take an extra 25 for yourself, but we're not going to get into all that right now. We're just going to focus on this. So you go out, you advertise, and I'll teach you how to do it. Right? You're going to run some quick ads. A customer is going to reach out to you to get a quote. You're going to book that customer. As soon as you book that customer, you're going to take a deposit. John will do it for 125. You're going to charge the customer 175. The minimum you take right there is $50. Right? That's a minimum you take on a deposit. I teach you to get more, but this is just a hypothetical. Right? And then you're going to dispatch this to John, who's going to go out. I'm writing from the side, so if you can't read it, don't worry, I'll tell you. Then John's going to go out and do the work. You're going to dispatch it to John. He's going to do the work. Who made the money? You. Who's doing the work? John. Think about that. When was the last time you made money without having to do the work? So I'll teach you how to do it. Now, in my industry, moves make $150, $250 an hour. And so what I do is I'll take a deposit up front of about $150. That's the average. Sometimes we get more if we book a big job. If we're doing cleanings, probably the average deposit for cleanings is about $100. But if you guys are doing windows, like windows could be a $350 job. Well, you have a business or ISP, independent professional, they'll do that same $350 job for $250. What does that mean? Where does the other 100 go? That goes to you in the form of a deposit. Look, I blessed y'all enough. I got to get off here. I got to go. I got stuff I got to do today. Man, I hope this blessed the socks off y'all and gets your attention and makes you want to do this and change your life. And but I've got to go. I got things to do. It was fun hanging with you and getting through this and getting this done. But I'm out of here, guys. So if you want to be in the training tonight, I'll drop the links in the comments or just simply DM me. Otherwise, I've got to go. And if you want to start a business using only your smartphone, notice I didn't talk about doing any work. All this stuff is digital. It's online. It's on your phone. Money in your pajamas, using only your smartphone while you Netflix and chill or Netflix and skill. I don't care. It's up to you. You need to be in that training tonight. See you then. All right. Everybody take care. Have a great night.